Welcome back to the Jack Sparrow channel. I am, of course, your host, Captain Jack. And, by the way, hoorah in Semper Fidelis. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about a couple of different things. First thing I'm going to talk about is this GME stuff, which is very interesting. And then I want to talk about these things, facial diapers, and my utter disdain for them. So let's get into it. GME. If you've been living under a rock the last 2 or 3 weeks, you've noticed that there's been a lot of talk and kerfuffle about GameStop. And for those who are uninitiated, which I'm sure there are very few who may or may not watch my videos, GameStop is, of course, a physical store that you can walk into that has a door, and you can physically purchase physical items like games or video game controllers, or now worthless trinkets from video games like characters and crap. It hasn't done very well for quite some time since the advent of digital media and a push towards digital media, which I am somewhat opposed to. That may come to a shock to some of you. Ha 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 ha. Jack Sparrow against physical or digital media because he likes to hold a physical copy of something in his hand and say, I actually own this, I paid money for it, and it's mine. Like books too. Anyway, the stock was very low, as we all know. And there was a short sell situation involving hedge funds, yada, yada, yada. Wall Street Bets decided they wanted to get, they said that, well, this isn't right. They actually had good reason to believe it should have been higher based on Christmas sales of a new video game console, etc., etc. Good reasons to, bet against it, bet against the short sell. So anyway, as anybody might notice, that it's down quite a bit today. Down quite a bit. And it's because you can't buy it. The only thing you can do is trade or sell it. You can't buy it. They've basically shut down the ability to buy this stock for the normal person. Try to force people, scare people into selling it all. Now, as a disclaimer, I am not a financial expert. I don't really care much about stocks in general. There's a couple that I believe in, but I'm not a financial expert. Do not take my advice. This is just my opinion of the current situation as it is unfolding. Having said that, I have a little bit in there. I have some skin in the game, and it is nice to see hedge funds and the crooked crony capitalists, because I'm a capitalist, right? But this is crony corruption, and I like to see these filthy vermin squirm. It's funny to me to watch these filthy vermin squirm and pull out all the stops to show their hand and to basically rip down the veil in order to try to save themselves. It's grand. They're exposing themselves for what they truly are, disgusting human beings. And I'm all for it. So that's what I have to say about that. It's a very interesting subject. It's quite fascinating to watch. It's like watching a slow-moving train wreck, and you can't keep your eyes off it. And it is, all the roaches are coming out of the woodwork for this to shill. You got Jimmy Kimmel with his nonsensical, I think they're Russian actors creating some problems, blah, 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 blah. He's a clown. I'm really surprised the man doesn't wear a big giant red nose on his freaking face, because he is an absolute clown. He is a court jester. He's the village idiot, what have you. Yes. Okay, so let's move on to the next thing that I wanted to talk about, which is a little bit more something that I'm sick and freaking tired of. I am tired of wearing, I hate this, it looks like one of those things that a wrestler, would wear, a professional wrestler would wear, a nugget pouch on my face. I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I hate it. It doesn't do any good. First they say, now, mind you, I'm not questioning the official narrative, right? I am not questioning official narrative. I am merely stating an opinion. I am not a health expert. I am not a scientist. I am just a peon, peasant, plebeian, with a slightly higher than average IQ. I am a worthless rag of dog poo in comparison to these absolute deities of science, and we should never question anything they say. Bow at the altar of their science. Having made that disclaimer as well, I will say swig of something healthy for the healthy man. I will say that there's nothing more frustrating than putting one of these stupid ass things on my face and going into a store. There's nothing more frustrating than watching someone drive by my car with rubber gloves and one of those things on their face, and sometimes even a face shield, driving down the street. And let me ask you something. Now, at the beginning, Dr. F said, you don't need to wear these things. They don't do any good. It's like false, it's like it gives you a false sense of security. And then they changed the narrative, say you should wear them. And they said, protect you. And then they switched that and they said, no, it will protect others and not you. And now they're saying, maybe we should wear two. Dr. F said we should wear two. That's just common sense. Why wouldn't you do that, stupid? Why didn't he say that? Who's really the stupid one if that's really the case? And now they say, it does help you and help them. You can't have it all these ways. Do they not know what the hell they're doing, or is it just all bull crap? There's only two ways to look at this. If you got, you don't need one. Yeah, you need one. Well, it doesn't help you. It does help you. Oh no, it really doesn't help you. It helps others. Well, now it helps you and others, and maybe we should wear two, and we should have done that anyway. And you should wear 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 or 9, 10. You know what? Screw it. Just tie a hefty bag around your head. There's only two possibilities. Two. They don't know what the hell they're talking about, or they're full of crap. Yeah, that's both basically one solution, right? When you look at it. So, yeah, I just, has anybody ever hid under the blanket with in their bed to hide or something from, when you were a kid, and you realize very quickly that air got stifling and hot, and it became more and more difficult to breathe the longer you were under there. And we're not talking about, a 50-pound comforter here, that's like 4 inches thick, or, hiding under a freaking mattress or something. We're talking about a sheet. It gets a little If it starts after a while, you're like, I don't feel like I'm breathing quite as well. I'll stick a piece of cloth over your face all freaking day. How do you feel? You know, if it's not doing, this is, again, I am no scientist here or a medical professional, but a common sense would dictate that the more layers of something you put over your face and over your nose and your mouth, the two ways for you to get in oxygen in order to oxygenate your blood, which carries it to your brain, which allows you to think and process and do things. That's not doing yourself any good. Or how about the fact that the human mouth has tons of bacteria in your mouth. And when you're breathing it into this all day long, the inside of this gets trapped with this stuff. And you're inhaling, not just the stuff that was in your mouth, but now you're inhaling this, like the bacteria and stuff like that when you're breathing. And I wonder if that could cause any infections or fungal infections or bacterial infections or anything like that. I wonder. I don't know. What if you were to sneeze? What if you were to sneeze right through it? Seems to me like it'd be a shotgun blast, but what do I know? What do I know? You go and stick this in the washing machine with your clothes with a Tide pack or something, Tide Pod or something like that. That might actually end up with some residuals of chemicals or something that you don't want to be inhaling. Because aren't Tide Pods bad for you? And weren't there stupid kids that were, down the hatch? And, so, I mean, I'm just positing my ideas here, just thinking with my brain that, again, nowhere near the level of freaking genius level scientists, but I'm pretty sure that there would be some chemical residue that you're inhaling. Just saying. Just because you're meant to maybe wear it after washing it doesn't mean you're meant to breathe it after washing it or ingest it, little particles, and I don't know. What do I know? Plus, it makes me feel like when have we ever quarantined healthy people? When have we ever been told that you're sick? You just don't know it. You're sick. I think I might have mentioned in a video at one point. My lady has a colleague, or no, not a colleague, a friend on the FB. The fart book, and got in a big argument about the and this person tried to tell my lady that her husband had strep throat and didn't know it. I had to take my sunglasses off for full dramatic effect on that one. Having had 2 cases of strep throat in my life, I can definitely say, when you have strep throat. There's nothing like that feeling of a extremely high fever that gives you chills. And you can't even swallow water, milk, tea, or anything without it feeling like somebody broke a glass window and now they're force feeding you shards of glass down your throat. That's what it feels like when you have strep throat. It feels like death is knocking at your door. You know when you're sick. You know when you're coming down with something, you're like, man, I am feeling I'm beat the heck down. I feel ragged. I'm feeling not so good. Maybe my throat hurts. You know, I'm like, got some swollen glands. You know, you're like, you know when you're sick. People know when they're sick. Trying to tell me that I don't know when I'm sick or not is insulting. Trying to tell me I might have something when I may not, when I most likely do not, is insulting. Trying to get us to do all these things other than take good care of our bodies. Drink lots of water. Load up on vitamin-rich foods, or take vitamins and minerals as a supplement to your diet. Having a healthy diet, having a healthy, exercise routine, or getting outside, getting fresh air, getting some sunlight. There's a lot of things you can do in life to keep yourself well. I'm generally a picture of exquisite health. The only thing I tend to fall prey to are sinus infections, and they're usually brought on by barometric pressure change. Some fun and dandy with my sinus, the way my sinus structure is put together, and that's just the way my body is made. But generally, I don't succumb to sinus or to colds, flus, or our other, respiratory fun. Just don't. And that's for years. I just haven't for years. I'm gonna get over, buddy. All right. I love driving, by the way. If nobody knows me, I love driving in traffic, especially with other cars around. It's my favorite thing in all the world. Even more so than wearing masks. That's a joke. Anyway, why don't they push healthy living, healthy lifestyles? Instead, they push, well, just order your McDonald's and have it delivered to you. Don't leave your house. No. Go order McDonald's and they'll bring it to you. McDonald's is the worst thing you should be eating. You can't play sports because somebody could get the sweet and sour sniffles. You can't keep you got to go to the gym, and then you can go to the gym in some places only if you wear a da-da-da-da on your face, so that you don't possibly give somebody else the if you're doing a healthy activity. So theoretically, sorry about that, it's still loose. Doing a healthy activity, I don't know. Seems bunk in my book. But what do I know? I ain't no scientist. What do you think? What do you think about wearing these blasted, facial, diapers on your face? Nothing makes me feel less like a nurse than this. If you like the video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe, because that's really the only thing that keeps me motivated. Subscribers. If I see that people like what I see and they subscribe, I'll do some more videos. Haven't been as keen doing videos lately. Been pretty busy, but I want to do more. And if I have a reason to do it, I'll continue doing it. So leave me a comment, leave me a ding, and we will talk to you later.